A deity, a company logo, a family portrait. All of them begin the same way, not with silver, not with copper, but with a mold carved by hand. Before any metal takes shape, someone must imagine what it will become, then harden that imagination into aluminum, into a form that will be struck thousands of times but never break. This is where creation begins, and in Marimuthu's workshop, this responsibility belongs to one person, his elder brother Loganathan. Loganathan is 39 years old. He has been making molds for 25 years. While Marimuthu works the silver, Loganathan creates the shapes that silver will become. Without him, there are no impressions. Without impressions, there is no plate. This is the work no one sees, the step that makes every other step possible.
என் பேர் லோகநாதன். நான் தஞ்சாவூர் கலைத்தட்டு வளர்த்த மாரிமுத்தோட அண்ணன்.
My name is Loganathan. I do Thanjavur Art Plate work. I am Marimuthu's elder brother. I am 39 years old. I've been in this field for 25 years. I received award through Pumbuhar events. I've been featured in newspapers and books. I've attended training centers and learned how to create new items and designs.
புது ஐட்டம் எப்படி செய்கிறது எல்லாம் கற்றுருக்கேன் பொழுது.
Awards, recognition, media attention. But what matters most to Loganathan is simpler than that. It is the knowledge that when an order arrives, whether 10 plates or 100, he can prepare the molds that will bring the design to life. And those designs have changed. For centuries, Thanjavur art plates carried one thing: deities. Lord Ganesha, Goddess Lakshmi, temple mandalas, sacred symbols passed down through generations. But today that is no longer enough. Customers want more. College logos, company emblems, family portraits, wedding couples, custom trophies. To survive, the craft had to adapt. And Marimuthu has learned to create what the market demands.
அந்த காலகட்டத்துக்கு ஜெனரேஷனுக்கு லட்சுமி பிள்ளையார் விநாயகர்.
Traditional designs include deities, animals and birds. But modern customization includes logos, portraits, religious symbols, name engraving, temple designs and custom trophies and awards. We even do premium customization. Silver can be replaced with gold on request. Each generation has its own designs. In my generation, we customize and create plates with college and company logos, emblems, a person's image and more. We are evolving with the times to keep this art form relevant.
மாத்திட்டு இருக்கோம், எங்களுக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி நாங்க மாத்திட்டு இருக்கோம். வியாபாரத்தை விட்டுறக்கூடாதுங்கிறதுக்காக.
Evolution, not as betrayal but as survival. The techniques remain the same. The metal stays true, brass, copper, silver. But the images change because the world has changed. And if a customer wants their face immortalized in silver, Loganathan will create the mold that makes it possible. Making a mold is not fast. It can take up to 1 month, 1 full month to create a single die, a metal template that will be used to strike copper and silver into shape. Loganathan starts with aluminum. He melts it in the furnace, prepares a clay bed, positions the die carefully, then pours the molten aluminum to form the mold. After it cools, the die is separated. Excess metal particles are cleaned. What remains is a hardened template, precise, durable, ready to withstand thousands of strikes. For frequently used designs, Ganesha, Lakshmi, traditional mandalas, the molds are prepared in advance, ready to respond to sudden orders. But for custom work, there is no shortcut. The mold must be made from scratch and the customer must wait.
எல்லாம் பாராட்டுவாங்க, சூப்பராக சூப்பராக.
From then, I started liking the work. People praised it. I felt I should achieve something. Instead of achieving in race, I became someone who achieves in this plate hammering craft. For the Young Generation Award, around 50 to 60 people participated. I was selected first and got first prize. The theme I chose was Yammadam Sammadam, meaning all religions are equal.
All religions are equal. A bold statement, made not in words but in metal. Loganathan created a piece that brought together Lord Ganesha, Mother Mary, and a mosque, 3 symbols of faith unified in one plate. This is what he brings to the craft. Not just technical skill, but vision. The ability to take an idea, unity, diversity, faith, and translate it into form. That piece won him recognition, awards, media attention. But more than that, it proved something. That tradition does not mean stagnation. That an ancient craft can speak to modern values. And that the hands shaping the molds are not just craftsmen, they are artists. Once the molds are made, once the impressions are struck into copper and silver, there is one more step before assembly. Waxing, known as Araku filling. Marimuthu takes molten lac, a natural resin, and fills it carefully behind every small metal piece that will be fixed onto the plate. Each piece is heated individually. The lac melts, spreads, settles. Then it's allowed to cool, and when it hardens, the lac becomes the glue, the invisible foundation that holds copper and silver to brass. Without it, the layers would fall apart and the impressions would be damaged. With it, they fuse into something permanent. This is not glamorous work. It is slow, precise, and unforgiving. One wrong temperature and the lac burns. Too little heat and it does not spread. Too much and it becomes brittle. But Marimuthu has done this for 20 years. His hands know the rhythm. Heat, fill, cool, repeat.
முன்னாடி வேக்ஸ் வைக்கணும். வேக்ஸ் வச்சதுக்கப்புறம் தான் அது
Once all the impressions on the copper and silver sheets are ready, I begin the waxing process. Waxing involves filling molten lac behind the impressions on copper and silver sheets and heating it until the lac melts and settles. I carefully fill lac behind every small metal piece that needs to be fixed onto the base plate. Each filled piece is heated individually to ensure the lac spreads evenly and holds firmly. Before fixing these pieces onto the plate, the heated sheets are allowed to cool and settle properly.
இவ்வளோ இதுன்னு இருக்கு.
Carefully, evenly, properly. These are not just words. They are requirements, standards. The difference between a plate that lasts a lifetime and one that falls apart in a year. And Marimuthu refuses to compromise. There was one order that changed everything for Loganathan and Marimuthu. 100 plates from a mineral water company, all needed at once, all needed on time. It was high pressure, tight deadline, no room for delays. But the brothers planned. They divided the work, they coordinated, and they delivered exactly at the promised time. That order brought them recognition, credibility, proof that they were not just artisans, they were professionals.
அப்படி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு 100 தட்டு ஆர்டர் அர்ஜென்ட் ஆர்டர் இருந்துச்சு எங்களுக்கு.
One time, we received a big order, around 100 plates, from a company. It became high pressure. We had to deliver on time. My brother planned correctly and we delivered exactly at the promised time. That brought both of us name and recognition. The client was very happy. That became a key turning point.
ரொம்ப சந்தோஷப்பட்டாங்க.
A turning point, not just for business, but for identity. They were no longer just the family that made plates. They were the family that could handle scale, complexity, pressure. And that reputation has stayed. The molds are made, the wax is set. The copper and silver impressions are ready, bound with lac, waiting to be fixed onto the base. What comes next is assembly, the moment when individual pieces become one, when hours of preparation finally take visible form. But for now, Loganathan pauses. He looks at the molds he has created, each one a bridge between imagination and reality. Some carry gods, some carry logos, some carry faces of people who want to be remembered. But all of them carry the same thing, the belief that metal, when shaped with care, can hold meaning. And in a world where meaning is often disposable, that belief is what separates craft from mass production. That is what makes this work sacred, and that is what keeps it alive.